Good evening. It is Monday, May 13th. I'm Jeffrey Whidden. I'm joined tonight by Mrs. Marshall, Mr. Twist. This is the Law and Ordinance Committee. Tonight we're looking at some changes to the Downtown Riverfront Overlay District, otherwise known as the DRO District, and some changes to the zoning code there. And I believe Mr. Idemiller will be giving us a presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, as you're aware, Council adopted a moratorium 270-ish days ago per Ordinance 044-2023 to allow us to do analysis on the DRO district. So a little bit of background, the DRO district does have 12 zoning districts inside of it. When we took a deep dive into these zoning districts, it was determined that there are undesirable uses that are currently permitted by right in the DRO. So that means that these uses would automatically be allowed to establish, for example, like agricultural sales, a lot of carpentry shops and the B2 and things of that nature could establish in basically the heart of our community. So that's really the changes that we are proposing. We're adding a second permitted uses list in the DRO for each one of those districts, except the B3 district. The B3 district is only located in the DRO, so we felt that it wasn't necessary to have another permitted uses list there. The table that was attached to our report goes into depth of all the comparison of uses. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
Also, when I was going back and looking at some of the Planning Commission meetings and the discussions there and the report there, it looks like for the most part this is kind of a housekeeping procedure. We kind of cleaned up some terminology, removed things that are duplicated to a certain degree. Is that the way you see it to a certain degree? Yeah,
so there is some duplication that we removed. There were some uses that were listed that didn't have a definition at all. Those items were cleaned up a bit, and then we did make a couple changes that we thought would benefit the DRO as well.
Is there any businesses currently located in the DRO that would be affected and they're now no longer to be permitted?
No, we don't have any active projects that would be affected.
Okay. Mr. Marshall, do you have any questions?
No, that answered my question.
No, I don't.
Do any other council members have any questions?
If I may.
Mr. Phillips.
Austin, you said that they're currently active. You mean they are in business now? They're not in business now that are affected by any changes here?
So the only ones that I'm aware of would be the gas station use that would be considered a legal nonconformity. So they would be allowed to maintain there as long as it doesn't become vacant for 183 days.
So if a station just merely changed ownership, they would not be...
It would not be impacted.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
I know at one of the Planning Commission's meetings the subject of electric charging came up. Would that be affected by this in any way?
Electric charging really isn't addressed at all in our zoning code, and that's something that we're going to look at for the zoning code rewrite next year after the comp plan.
Okay. Do any of the members of council have any questions? Mr. Schilling, please come up.
Jeff Schilling, 591 Chartwell Court, member of City Council. The question I had is, we have now under contract our company that is doing our master plan, and we've also put them under contract to look at the zoning requirements. Since they're under contract with us, did we ask them to take a look at this as well? Okay, we did do that?
Yeah, so we did.
Okay, I hear this. Yeah, I heard that going up and down.
Yes, they are aware of this change. They have the legislation, and they've reviewed all of this with their package.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. Yes, appreciate it.
Are there any other council members have any questions? Members of the public? Mrs. Marshall?
I would only note that council did hold a public hearing on this at the last meeting, and there were no comments made. And also, with the approval of this legislation, at the point it's approved, the moratorium would be cease to exist.
Thank you, Mrs. Knight. Ms. Marshall, do you have any questions?
I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've already asked that one. Do you have a recommendation?
Move forward.
Move forward.
It is unanimous to move forward. Is there anything else before the committee?
No, sir.
Then we are adjourned. Thank you.